An 8-year-old Bakarwal Muslim girl, Asifa Bano, went missing from Rasana village of Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua district on the 10th of January 2018. Her family filed a report after 2 days later. 7 days later, on the 17th of January, a shepherd came from running from forest and told Asifa's father, Yusuf Pujwala, that he had found a dead body of his 8-year-old daughter under the forest bushes near Devasthan temple. Asifa was adopted after Yusuf lost his 2 children in an accident. He decided to adopt his sister's newborn child in 2010. She was named Asifa. 2 days later, the local police arrested a juvenile boy who they said had confessed that it was he who had abducted the girl and later killed her with the blow of a stone to her head. Since few years, many Hindus in Jammu fear that the Muslim-majority Kashmir Valley has plans to change the demography of Hindu-majority Jammu by resettling Muslims here from elsewhere. Tension between some sections of Hindus and Bakarwals has been running high. The hatred between these two religious communities consumed the life of an 8-year-old girl. Bakarwals and others mounted pressure on the government to transfer the case to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. It was turned over to the crime branch on January 22nd. After sustained interrogation of the juvenile boy and an investigation, the police say they identified the main 2 accused in the case, a local 60-year-old villager, Sanji Ram, and a special police officer, Deepak Khajuria. The story that has emerged after the crime branch investigation put whole nation into a shock. Sanji Ram had decided to put together a plan to scare away Bakarwals from the area. He had been observing Asifa for a few days. She often grazed her ponies on forest land around his home. He decided to kill Asifa in order to instill fear among other members of her community. Ram shared this idea with Deepak Khajuria and the juvenile boy, his nephew. The boy had been expelled from his school 3 months earlier because of his bad behavior with girls. His parents had then sent him to his uncle's home, where he took care of the cattle. To facilitate Asifa's abduction, Khajuria first went to a chemist shop, taking along a prescription of his maternal uncle who has psychiatric problems. He asked for a medicine used for treating seizures and sleep disorders. The chemist did not have the specific drug, but gave him the same formulation under a different brand name, Epitril. Khajuria then sought Ram's nephew's help in abducting the girl, promising that in return he would help him clear his exams through cheating. The boy shared this plan with his close friend, Parvesh Kumar alias Manu. On January 9th, the boy and Manu went to a nearby town and purchased 4 doses of a local drug, Manar. On the afternoon of January 10th, Ram's nephew heard Asifa inquiring from a woman about her missing ponies. He told Asifa that he had seen her ponies and led her to the jungle, accompanied by Manu. According to the police, by this time the girl had sensed trouble and tried to run away, but Ram's nephew caught hold of her and pushed her to the ground. Then he forcibly fed her a dose of Manar, after which she fell unconscious. It is here that he raped her. Afterwards, Manu tried raping her as well, but could not. The girl was then taken to a small temple managed by Sanji Ram. The next day, SPO Khajuria and Ram's nephew went back to check on her. They lifted her head, and Khajuria slid 2 tablets of Epitril down her throat. In the evening, the nephew went again to the temple to light a lamp and found the girl still unconscious. The same night, he called up his cousin, Sanji Ram's son, Vishal Jangotra, who is pursuing a bachelor's degree in agriculture in Meerut. The boy asked Jangotra to come immediately if he wanted to satisfy his lust. Jangotra arrived the next morning. 2 hours later, they went to the temple where Asifa was given another 3 tablets. All this while, she was on an empty stomach. By this time, Sanji Ram had taken into confidence to another policeman, Head Constable Tilak Raj. On the afternoon of January 12th, after Mohammed Yusuf filed a complaint with the police, the search for the missing girl began. Both Deepak Khajuria and Tilak Raj were a part of the search party and kept up the pretense of looking for the girl. According to the police, Sanji Ram visited his sister the same day and convinced her that her son was involved in the kidnapping and confinement of the girl. Through her, a packet of $2,000 was sent to Tilak Raj. Through him, an offer for sharing a total of $6,700 was made to the investigating officer of the case, Sub-Inspector Anand Dutta. He is now one of the accused. On the morning of January 13th, Sanji Ram, his son and nephew went to temple where the uncle-nephew duo performed rituals. After Sanji Ram left, his son and nephew raped Asifa. After this, the boy fed Asifa 3 tablets of epitrol and kept the other 2 under a heap of garbage. It was the day of Lohri. After the festivities in the evening, Sanji Ram told his accomplices that the time had come to kill the girl. That night, she was taken to a culvert in front of the temple by the nephew, his friend Manu and Jangotra. Shortly afterwards, Kajuria reached the spot as well and said he wanted to rape the girl before she was killed. After doing it, Kajuria put her neck on his left thigh and tried to strangle her. He could not. Sanji Ram's nephew then came forth and killed her by pressing his knee against her back and strangulating her with her chuni. Then, to make sure that she was dead, he hit her twice with a stone. The body was taken back to the temple. On the morning of January 15th, the body was thrown in the forest. But once the case got too hot to handle for the police, the accused decided to direct all guilt at the juvenile and have him confess falsely that he had conspired to kill the girl along with a local shepherd. On sustained interrogation, however, the boy broke down and narrated the whole story. Many people tried to make it a communal issue of Hindu and Muslim instead of an 8-year-old girl who went through hell because of narrow-minded devils. Sanji Ram, Deepak Kajuria, and Parvesh Kumar were sentenced to life imprisonment of 25 years. Tilak Raj, Anand Dutta, and Surinder Verma were sentenced to 5 years in jail for destroying evidence. Court acquitted Vishal due to lack of evidence. A juvenile will be tried at a juvenile court. The fate of Muhammad Yusuf and his people in Rasana is not clear yet. After Asifa was found, locals did not even allow the family to bury her body on Yusuf's own land. It had to be buried in a neighboring village where Yusuf's relatives live. In the wake of the charge sheet, the life of Baker Walls in this region is bound to get more difficult.